was never the most talented, never the flashiest. I relied on grit. Other players might have been more talented, but I can assure you, no one was going to outwork me. The secret is in the dirt. I learned early on in my life, through many challenges, that I could change my circumstances with hard work.
You can't outgill me. You can't outwork me. You can't outwork me.
No one will outwork me. No one.
I will not be outworked, right? Period. You know, you might have more talent than me. You might be smarter than me. You might be sexier than me. You might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories.
The sheer concentration that is required to pursue a dream, you see, it's not for everyone. It was for me. I yearned for the daily grind, and I couldn't get enough of it.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the center of all material success.
Woo! Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. Oh my goodness, what a week so far. So much growth, so much transformation, so much abundance is flowing to and through, and I'm excited to see it. Shane and Talina in the building. We got the squad in here. Happy, where are we at? Is it Friday already? This week is just flying by. TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. The growth definitely includes Friday. What is going on? So family, today we're going to be talking about bringing you back in time, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but Arizona has been one of the key states inside of this business, right? There was a lot of greatness that was created in the state of Arizona, and I'll never even forget. My sister actually lived in Arizona for a couple of years, so for a lot of my life, Arizona was actually a place that I was waiting to go out and travel to and go see. And as I started to get older and started to realize a couple of different things, right? Number one, Arizona is actually one of the most spiritual states inside of the entire U.S. So we talk about how success is 90 to 99% spiritual. Well, I couldn't wait to get out there to feel the energy, to really experience everything that Arizona has to offer. So I've got a great training from you guys today. This training actually was given to me from Alex Morton himself. So I'm excited to go ahead and pour back into the family. Let's drop a little bit of gratitude down below before we go ahead and dive in and get started for the day. And this is going to be one that you do not want to miss. This is what I'm telling you. This has stuck with me for years. So here we go. Let me get live on IG, and we are diving in. What is 3 things that everybody is grateful for coming into the Friday? Drop it down below. Let me see. Here we go. IG, and we are live. Let's go. Awesome. I'm grateful for God, family. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for all of the lessons, right? Even with all of the lessons that's coming in, I truly know that life is happening for us. It's not happening to us. There's something that can be learned from everything that happens inside of life, right? Nothing is good. Nothing is bad. It is what it is, whatever we make it. So I'm grateful for it all. I'm thankful to be able to get up today, to be able to breathe, to even get deep once again into the journal. We are currently at 313 days straight, really getting the feeling, really diving deep. I believe Shane is coming up on the year mark, 365. So I'm proud of you guys. I love to see it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into today's training of Arizona. Okay. I'll never forget when I went out to Arizona, people always would say, some very interesting things, right? When you go out to the desert, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but some of this area is so sacred, they won't even let you fly drones, right? Because there's actually still Mayans and Indians living still inside of the mountains. So there's a lot of pretty interesting things that's going on out there, right? You'll see crop circles. I'll never forget, we went hiking and we would see like literally 20 rocks all stacked on top of each other. And it's kind of like those pictures that you've seen, like how can they even be able to balance? It just does things you can't explain out there, right? So it's pretty powerful stuff. So we actually had an exclusive training right? From Alex Morton, we had a couple of the other top chairmen actually fly in, and this was the exact training that Alex Morton actually gave before he actually left and he went back home. And this is just something I've always remembered. So I want to go ahead and actually bring it back, because I think this is a perfect time to go ahead and really go back through this training, because I don't know if I've done this one in quite a while. So let's get into it. So Arizona, if you guys get out your paper, you see the title. This is going to be the acronym for Arizona. Let's go. Great for it all, Shane. I love to see it. Happy 10-year anniversary, by the way. If you guys want to go ahead and drop some 10s down below for Mr. Shane and Talina, phenomenal. Okay, so the first of this acronym, okay, we're going to be diving into Arizona. The A is going to be standing for awareness, right? The awareness to understand a couple of different things, right? One of the first things I learned coming inside of this business is, number one, the new illiterate of the 21st century is not somebody who can't pick up a book and read, right? The new illiterate is somebody that can't take what they've been able to learn, unlearn that, and then actually go out and learn something new, right? So coming in was a shift for me, going from the employee to the entrepreneur mindset, right? That was something I really had to learn, because it's a whole different shift. Employees were used to working, get paid, working, get paid. You see, as an entrepreneur, you might not get paid the same time as we do the work, right? Sometimes there's a jet lag effect, and you're not working for $9, $10, $15, $20 an hour. These are skill sets that's limitless. I'm talking about making a day where we could go out and make in a week, right? The awareness to understand what's going on in the world right now, with so much noise, with so much negativity, with so much fear, and to understand that we can be the ones to go ahead and take advantage, right? They say that the wealthy, when things get fearful, when people are afraid, this is when they're drooling at the mouth, waiting for opportunity, while everybody else is fearful, right? The wealthy are really taking advantage. So the awareness, okay? The awareness to be aware of what it is that we're putting inside of our body, right? A couple of years ago, when my sister passed, I found out and realized how important it is to get an alkaline diet, right? Think about driving a sports car, a Ferrari, and being able to give it 87 fuel. It's not going to be able to run very well, and definitely not very far. So I started to put these pieces together. How we operate, the way we feel, the action that we take has a direct correlation to what it is that we're not just feeding our body, not just that we're feeding our mind, but all of the things that we're surrounded with, right? I used to be listening to music all the time. I love music until I started becoming really aware that in the time that we're going to the gym, we're going out with our kids, we're going to the grocery store, we can be listening to audios, right? We can be learning, we can be getting in new information all throughout the day, right? The awareness to understand how powerful getting morning rituals are, the awareness to understand even night routines. All of this is so key when it comes to really creating this transformation. So the A is awareness, right? How many of us know that fluoride, we really even shouldn't have that in our toothpaste? How many of us know that aluminum is in half of our deodorants? Okay, to really operate at an elite level, to really raise our frequency, it takes being aware of all of these different things, okay? Outwitting the devil. If you really want to get aware about what's really going on, Napoleon Hill, right? Dive into that audio and let me know how you feel once you go ahead and finish that one up, right? If you know, you know. Facts. So here's the next one I want to go ahead and give you, okay? The R. The R stands for resilience, okay? Resilience. This is so key. If there's one major thing I learned along the course of this journey, just looking at those that are still standing, is going to be resilience. If this journey was easy, I'd be lying if I told you this journey was easy, right? If it was easy, everybody would do it. But what I will tell you is it's 1,000% worth it. It was actually funny. I was talking about this yesterday, and somebody was like, yo, D, can you give me a visual of what do you think success looks like? And the first thing I thought of, I don't know how many of you have ever seen the iceberg, right? Where you have the iceberg and there's that little tip that's sitting above the water, but underneath, they're actually showing everything that it takes to go ahead and really create success. If you guys have ever seen that picture, drop it down below. What are all the things that it really takes to go ahead and get to this level of success, whatever that might be to you? but what is the underlying layers, right? What is behind the curtains that most people don't see? This comes to resilience. I'm talking about the early mornings, the late nights, right? All of the value that we go ahead and give out, all the studying that we're doing, all of the deep work, all of the taking time to go in the gym when nobody's watching, right? When people don't believe in you, when people quit your business, when nobody can see what you see. At the beginning of my journey, nobody could see what I saw. Not my father, not my best friends, not my professors in school, right? So this took resilience, right? This took me being able to understand that this is going the road less traveled, right? Hard work and determination, commitment, right? Cedric in the building, right? If you guys have ever seen that picture of the iceberg, what is underneath the surface that it really takes to get success? Dedication, passion, right? Doing what most people are not willing to do today to live a life tomorrow like most can't. Okay, so Arizona, this is huge. Awareness is going to be for A, R is going to be for resilience. Okay, if you really want to reach these levels, everything that we're writing down in our journal, everything that we're manifesting, everything that we're feeling, right? The congratulations letter that we wrote to ourselves at the beginning of the year, this is going to take resilience to go ahead and get to that level. I'm telling you that right now. As we climb this mountain, when we reach one tip of a mountain, trust me, okay, I'm in this, I'm deep in here, 6+ years inside of the industry. When you climb this mountain and we reach it, when we reach the top of a hilltop, there's always going to be another mountain. There's always going to be more to climb. So I know it's so crucial to keep this resilience, okay? Because there's going to be storms, there's going to be hail, there's going to be snow that comes along in these seasons. But if you know it's coming, I'm telling you, this is what separates those that last and those that just get swarmed by their own emotions and their own thoughts, because they don't know this happens in seasons. Okay, resilience. All right, next. I love it. This is such a great training. All right, the next one is going to be for Arizona, right? ARI is going to be intellect. Okay, intellect. What do I mean by intellect? You see, here's what I learned. How many of you are fearful of doing things that you don't have a lot of knowledge about, right? We tend to not have a lot of confidence in things that we haven't done enough reps in, or things that we don't have enough knowledge about. You see, for me, a lot of this journey at the beginning, I was very fearful of doing. I was afraid to speak. I was afraid to go out and actually spend my money and make a real trading account. I was afraid to invest into myself. I was afraid to go ahead and go out to events and spend that money because I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it back. But you know what I started to realize with intellect, with new knowledge? I started to realize that the biggest risk, who can tell me this? What is the biggest risk that any of us can take? This took a little bit of time to gain this intellect, right? But once I understood it, my whole life changed. You see, the biggest risk that any of us can take is not taking a risk. That's the scariest thing that any of us can do, right? They say if you're afraid to take the risk, wait till you see the price tag for not taking a risk. If you want to know what that looks like, go to the grocery store, go out and look in the world, and you're going to see so many people living with regret. And I started to realize getting out of college when I walked through nursing homes to go in and get my community service, that was the last thing that I wanted to live with. I didn't want to live with regret. I finally had intellect, the knowledge to know that I would rather the pain of the journey than rather have the pain of regret and wondering what could have happened? What could we have went out and became? What impact could we have go ahead and left? So this is huge. This is major things I had to learn along the course of the journey, right? Intellect. I started to realize that, you know what? I'm not the greatest speaker right now. But you know what the beautiful part about growth is? Let me give you a secret. Let me go ahead and give you a hack right here. You ready? If you want to really go ahead and cut the learning curve, one of the ways that we can take the elevator to success is by finding individuals who already have that success. So you know what I went and did? I found those that were great at public speaking. I went and I studied those that were killing it on social media, those that were nerds about crypto, NFTs, about Web3. And I picked their brain and I studied them and I started to tweak it and create my own version of doing what it is that they did when it came to knowledge, when it came to being able to implement my own brand, when it came to public speaking, when it came to going out and creating relationships and building an organization. I didn't know how to do any of these things. But I knew with intellect, I knew with more knowledge, I knew with putting out the reps with everything that I was learning, it was just a matter of time. So me being on the other side, seeing some of you that have been in here for a year, 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, I know without a shadow of a doubt, with more intellect, with more action, with more reps, with more action, you're going to start to see how things start to unfold and make so much more sense as time continues. But it takes intellect, right? Intellect is huge. You really want to start getting some withdrawals, some ka-chings. Start diving in and identifying an educator that you're ready to lock in with for the next 90 days. On the trading side, e-commerce, whatever that be, I started to realize if I want to learn how to trade, I had to become obsessed with studying this information. And that's what I did. 6 months straight. You know, Shane, Talina know, we were on Mike Miles at 12 o'clock at midnight. And then we'd get on at Chris Derrick at 2 a.m. every single night just to get the intellect, to get the knowledge, to be able to go out and implement it, okay? So whatever we want to master, we've got to take the time to really get the intellect on that subject, okay? Oh, Arizona, A-R-I-Z-A-R-I. You ready? Watch this, okay? This is going to be big, okay? Arizona. The Z is going to be zeal, okay? Check this out, zeal. For those of you that don't know what zeal means, let's go ahead and go to Google and let's look this up real quick. Zeal. Okay. Zeal stands for great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. Jim Rohn talks about it all the time. He said sales is nothing but the exchange or transfer of energy, right? So enthusiasm, when you look at anybody who's successful, find me somebody who's successful most of the time that doesn't have a lot of enthusiasm, that doesn't have a lot of great energy. Look at the last person that sold you your car. Look at the last big purchase that you guys might have made and tell me they didn't have a lot of energy behind that. Most of the time, you're absolutely going to see that money chases energy. So I used to be the type of person to wake up every day and I would wake up and I would live in the past. I would wake up and I would live in my old habits. I would wake up and I would think about everything that's not going right. And you know what that did? That created a state that did not feel good. And the action that I would take with that, it didn't lead to any results. Because whatever we're feeling, right? We talk about the secret is the feeling. We can be doing the journaling. We can be making the calls. We can be getting on social media. But without the right energy, without the right enthusiasm, without really being able to have zeal, you're going to start to realize that all of that work can be useless. Because I know what that's like. I've done that for months. Waddles D. Waddles talks about it in The Science of Getting Rich. He says it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. So that's zeal, right? Energy, enthusiasm, right? Every single day when people come on your story, when they look at the videos, how do they leave your video? How do they leave you in person? Do they leave you with an impression of increase? Do they leave you with a smile? Do they leave you excited because you've been able to pour into them even just with your energy? People feel your energy before you even speak. Remember that. Whether you're doing a video, whether you meet somebody in person, this is just laws of attraction. This is laws of the universe, okay? Big. This is keys I had to learn. I didn't know this at first, right? Always going to be opportunity. Stick with me. I got 4 more for you, okay? Opportunity, right? Opportunity and optimism. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 for O. Opportunity. If you start to really sit down and look at how crazy the world is right now. You see, when I first got started, I got my license into real estate, right? Those that know what's going on with real estate, right? Prices are at an all-time high. There's houses that are sitting right now that are double the price of what they were just a couple years ago. So when you start to study the charts, guess what? What goes up must what? Must come down. Inflation, the rates are at some of the craziest numbers they've ever been at in a long time, right? Once again, what goes up must what? Must come down. So for those that understood what happened in 2008, what if I were to tell you what's going to happen now in the next handful of months could possibly dwarf that, could make that look like something that's only scratched the surface? Well, this is the truth. This is an opportunity, okay, right now, not to be fearful, but to be able to realize that inside of every disaster, there's opportunity, right? Money just doesn't disappear inside of a disaster. It gets transferred into the wealthy and smarter individuals' hands. So guess what? We have the skill sets that are recession proof. We're living in a recession right now. But you see, with trading, with e-commerce, with being able to build a brand, with being able to build a brand, with being able to build a network, there's never been a better time to be alive than right now, right? We have the biggest financial digital revolution taking place right here, right now. And look at all of us, right from our smartphone, we can be able to benefit from these trillion-dollar industries. So that's opportunity, okay? The other part of O is going to be optimism, okay? When it comes to optimism, is the glass half full or is it half empty? Sadhguru says we can wake up and we can either choose joy or we can choose misery. How do we wake up and how do we see the world every day? We can wake up and we can live in a world of abundance, or we can wake up, we can live in a world of lack. Just make it very binary and ask yourself that question. Have I been living in lack? Have I been living in abundance? Right? Have I been living in joy or have I been living in sadness? What are the most dominant emotions? And just becoming aware of that little thing right there, you start to make a huge shift, right? I used to find myself feeling so aggravated, feeling so frustrated throughout the whole day. You know what I realized? My results were mirroring that. So I did something very interesting. You know what I did? I went on my phone and I went on my alarms. And I set an alarm every single hour. You know what I wrote on it? Rampage of appreciation, gratitude check. It's hard to be grateful and it's hard to be hateful at the same time. This is why we write our gratitude every single morning. This is why we're so consistent with this, because we know the secret is the feeling. And when you can live every day in gratitude, we can find the good in every situation. This is where you start flourishing. This is where your energy is felt anywhere that you go, because you're just vibrating different. That energy is just vibrating high. Okay. So this is huge. That's going to be O. N. I got two more for you. N is going to be never give up. Austin Gossi said something years ago that always stuck with me. Somebody that was living out of his car, somebody that had his kid literally sleeping on couches, benches in parks. And then he went on to become a chairman 100. Not only did he hit chairman 100, he actually lost it all. And then he went and he actually got it back. Not only chairman 100, but chairman 250. And it went on to show me never quit. I'm talking about he went through deaths in the family. He went through funerals. And he went on to create a legacy for his son. The power of never giving up is so real. I want you to find me anybody who's successful and show me their journey. And I want you to ask yourself this. Do you think they never had challenges? Do you think they never had times where they think they might want to quit for themselves, where they had a lot of negativity, a lot of disbelief? I can almost guarantee you anybody who traveled that road, they went across all of these obstacles. But you know what they did? They never gave up. Show me one person who didn't. Whether we're talking about Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson, right? All these phenomenal iconic individuals that you can think of, they all had to go through a journey. They all had to go through obstacles, trials, and tribulations, but they never gave up, right? Quitters never win, and winners never quit. This is why years later, even through all the retracements, through everything that's happened over these years, people quitting, people not seeing the vision, I know what's to come. I know who we're surrounded by. I know the opportunity in this window that we have right here, right now. So never quitting, to me, that was never an option, right? My flag has been planted since 2017 because I know where we're going. You got to think about it. I watched this company go from 1,200 customers to over 200,000, touching $1 billion company. So I know what a small room with a big vision can do, right? Never give up. And last but not least, here's the A for you. The A to finish up Arizona, right, is going to be, I'm going to give you 3 for A. I want to give you 3. 3 is going to be, right, boom, Shane Talina, been a freaking rock. The A is going to stand for attitude, alteration, massive action. Right? Attitude is pretty close to optimism, right? We did a whole training on attitude the other day. I literally went deep on the power of attitude. Our attitude creates our altitude, right? Number 2, the second part of the A is going to be alteration, okay? When we're talking about alteration, this is something that I had to go through as well, right? As I went to events, as I started listening and just studying success and hearing these testimonies, I started to see a couple different things. They had to alter a couple different parts of their life. What do I mean by that? They had to give up to go up. They had habits. They had things that were holding them down that they had to let go of to allow them to get to that next level, right? Whether that be letting go of the junk food, letting go of the distractions, letting go of the Netflix, letting go of the TV series, letting go of the negative influences inside of their life. And I had to do a lot of this well, right? I call it cutting out, right? Cutting out the fat. What is the fat in our life that we can go ahead and cut out and slim down so we don't have all this noise? Like, I want you to imagine this. Imagine that we have our garage, and our garage is filled with all of this. Let's just say the garage is filled with all of this trash, right? It's filled with all of this nonsense, things that we don't need. Well, how can we have any space for anything new if it's filled with trash? So what we have to do is we have to take out the trash so we can then replace it with something new, right? And this is literally alteration. This is the name of change. Whenever we replace something, we have to replace it with a better habit. So instead of eating sugary, I'll give you an example, even for me. I have a sweet tooth, right? I love sugar sometimes. I love to eat candy. I love sour things. So you know what I started to alter? Whenever I wanted sugar, I would start to go out and I would reach for fruit. I actually started buying prunes, right? Something that would curve that for me, so I could exchange it with something different that's not going to allow me to keep going down the same rabbit hole, but now I can alter my habits to go and create a better change inside of my life. For those of you that don't know, cancer thrives off of sugar. Okay, so this is things I had to learn. So alteration, and last but not least, is going to be massive action. If there's one thing I've been able to study and learn from the greats, is they take massive action. Yes, they study. Yes, they get on Zooms. Yes, they're learning all the time, but they're always looking to implement what it is that they go out and learn, right? So with that being said, family, this is my training for you guys today. This is something that stuck with me. Went out to Arizona. We had chairmen that came out, and Alex Morton. We're talking about somebody that almost literally dropped out of college, one of the biggest party universities over in Arizona, ASU. And he went on to become one of the most iconic network marketers inside of the entire industry, right? I'm talking about literally top 3 in the whole industry. So it just goes to show, it doesn't matter where you come from. You know, this industry discriminates against nobody. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what background you're from. It doesn't matter what age you are. Anybody can go out and create success by being able to believe, take massive action, and utilizing this training from Arizona. So family, with that being said, if you got any value from today, smash that like button, drop some 3s down below. And if nobody told you today, I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. You're unstoppable. You are limitless. And the world is waiting to hear your story. TGIF, have an abundant day. Have a great weekend. The month of June has officially begun, and we are in the second half of the year, right? Arizona, married to the game, baby. Let's go out, take massive action. I love you, Dream Team. Let's get to work. It's game time. Let's go. Married to the game.